What is shaking, everyone? I'm back once again with a big old box of graded cards that I'm going to open for your viewing enjoyment. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Canton, Ohio, at least. And I'm going to take advantage of this weather and sit here in my man cave and open up cards and film it so that other grown men can watch. That's what I do. Actually, it doesn't really matter if the weather's nice or not because I manage a bar and I work Sunday night. So regardless of the weather, I'm going to be dealing with a bunch of drunk idiots tonight. I know it's Sunday, but I work at a busy place. Okay, this is a large lot of graded cards that I purchased from an individual seller on eBay, a guy that I've purchased from before. It's going to be a lot of like 80s and 90s kind of junk wax graded stuff. I got it. This guy, I believe him or someone he's connected to must try to grade entire sets. Because just the volume of cards that he has available, just like random stuff. I mean, they've got to be grading sets. That's all I can figure. You'll see here in a second. Nice packing job by this gentleman. What was really cool is, it took about a week for me to cycle through all this guy's auctions and make offers on everything else he had that I was interested in, and so on and so forth. But he ended up bidding on a number of my things, and basically he was paying me and I was paying him at the same time. It was pretty cool. Couple of boxes. Obviously, these are from PSA. See if we can adjust our angle a little bit here. Y'all. So, obviously, he's sending, or somebody he's connected to, sending large shipments to, I shouldn't say large, I don't know. But shipments to PSA and getting graded cards back, because these are the boxes that they come back in. Not that I've ever actually submitted anything for grading myself, but I buy enough of other people's trash that I consider treasure to know that this is what your PSA graded cards are going to come back from PSA in. Pretty sure this guy opens them up, looks at the grade, and if they don't grade out at a 9 or 10, he's done with them. Then I buy them from him for real cheap. Okay, so we got two boxes. I should know what these hold, but I don't. Two boxes of graded cards. We're going to crack open box number one and see what the hell we got. I believe this foam packaging is also a PSA thing. Some of you guys with the big bucks that actually can afford to get cards graded can tell me. But I think that's what this is. I'm going to use it just to cover up... oh, good God. Cover up the cards so you can't see what's coming next. Keep the suspense up for you guys. It's the little things that make a YouTube channel good. Okay, first card. There you go. 86 Topps Traded Barry Bonds. I feel like every time I open my mail, I'm getting one of these. And maybe I am. But, again, Bonds is going to the Hall of Fame, guys. He is the home run champion. He's the number one guy. He didn't gamble on baseball. He did something that everybody else that played in the era that he played was doing. He's going to the Hall. I've said it before. I'll say it again. My theory is that Mr. Bonds and Mr. Clemens are going to be forced to wait until their final year of eligibility to get voted into the Hall. I can't imagine. I don't know how you could, with a clear conscience, not vote them in after 10 years. But I think it's a fair punishment. 10 years of sitting there, getting older with nothing to do, retired, not getting into the Hall is penance enough in my mind. Next up, good God. I need to start selling these. I have so many, and by so many, I mean probably 3. 86 Topps Cal Ripken Jr. cards. This one's a PSA 8. Card looks good, and I like the card. I just, I don't know, man. I go in spurts. I went from, was it last week? Yeah, last week. I didn't post any videos. You know why? Because I was busy selling shit. I was listing it on eBay and selling it. When I list this stuff, it sells. When I spend my time on eBay and ComC and whatever, buying shit, I run out of money. All right, next card. 82 Topps Traded Steve Sax. PSA 8. That is a good-looking card. Unfortunately, my brother-in-law was just here. I was giving him a quick tour of ComC. And I thought he might be interested in this card, and I didn't know that I had it sitting here in an unopened box. I'll take a picture of it after this video and send it to him. He's a big Dodgers fan. If he doesn't want it, no biggie. It'll sell. They always do. Personally, I don't give a rat's ass about Steve Sax. Next card. Oh. 1987 Topps Traded Reggie Jackson. PSA graded at an 8. Near mint to mint condition. These cards, a lot of these cards you're going to see in this video, I purchased for like $1, $2, $3. I don't know if there's any card in this video that I spent more than $5 on. But like I said, I purchased from this guy before. He seems to be a really good guy. He doesn't crank you on the shipping. I don't know what the shipping was like $13 for this whole thing. And what I do is once I win one of his auctions and I know that I'm invested in, no matter what, I'm paying the shipping one time. I won an auction, I got to pay the shipping. Well, then I'll go through and make him offers on a bunch of buy it now stuff he has. If he's got Reggie listed for 5, I'll offer him 3. But we've done a good amount of business over the last few months, so I think that he probably cuts me a little slack on that too. But works out well for me. I don't know what I'm going to do with that Reggie. I feel like I got to keep it. Back in Oakland. That won't be one of the first ones I sell, let me put it that way. All right, next up, we got a 1984 Donruss. Pete Rose, Phillies card. PSA graded at an 8. When I first got into, when I got back into the hobby, I wasn't, the only Pete Rose I was buying was in a Reds uniform. But at some point, the cards are so inexpensive, and Pete Rose is, the all-time hit leader in baseball. You got to buy it. You just got to buy it. You get an 84 Donruss Pete Rose, graded at a PSA 8 for $4 you got to buy that. At least I do. Next up, I love this card. This is definitely staying in the personal collection. We got the 1989 Topps Traded Neon Deion Sanders. Kids, you may know him as Primetime. He played a little football too. PSA graded at a 6, but as I've said before, when it comes to my personal collection, I don't really give a damn. I don't give a damn. I mean, if the card looks good, why is my camera shaking all over the place? If the card looks good, I don't care about the grade. I don't know why this is a 6 either. Well, it looks pretty damn good to me. I mean, it is a traded set. Maybe they grade it harder because, I mean, you can see some whitening on the black background, but this is a 6? Huh. Sorry, I got to move this camera a little bit. The shaking and movement is bothering me. Yeah, anyhow. Awesome. This is Deion Sanders' rookie baseball card, obviously. PSA graded at a 6. 89 Topps Traded. I love it. And he was a good baseball player. Do you realize, I was talking about this with somebody the other day, how ridiculous, this guy played in a football game and the World Series on the same day? I mean, that's nuts. Who would do that today? Okay, next up, I'm getting a backlog of these too. I have got to start selling these babies, and this is another one. I'll probably keep this one in my personal collection. Sell a higher one with a higher grade that I have on hand. You know, buying online, people will buy the 8s and 9s all day long. 6s you may sit on a little bit, but I'll keep the 6 for my personal collection, and I will sell the higher grade, and everyone's happy. But I mean, this is a freaking good-looking 6, man. Corners and edges look good. The only thing I can figure is if they're dinging them for, I guess it's a little bit of a miss, or a little bit off-center on the back. A little bit top to bottom, but definitely not bad. Unless they're dinging them for the whitening on the black background, but that's pretty crazy if they are. Or, you know, the other thing, this was probably graded recently, and they've had so many of these come through, like, hey, yeah, we need to take it easy on the 8s and 9s, boys. And if you believe that the grading companies do not think about what they're, if you think they don't look at population reports and know their influence on the value of cards, you're out of your mind. I promise you they do. I promise you, if there's 20,000 of this card graded at a PSA 10, PSA is not going to give out a 10 unless it is 100% obvious. They got to keep the population down, or their service no longer has value. If every card goes in, comes back a 10, who the hell cares if you get it graded anymore? And they know that. They're not stupid. It's another dollar buy. 1989, Upper Deck Harold Baines. Another PSA 6. I don't get it. How is this a 6? I don't know what's wrong with this card. I guess it's off-center a little bit on the back, so I'm assuming it's a little bit off-center on the front. But a 6? I don't know. They must be grading the 89 Upper Deck set very hard, because there's probably 9 million people. I mean, that is an awesome set, and there's probably 9 million people trying to get it graded. So they must be grading it much harder. They're definitely grading it harder than they would something from the 80s. But luckily for me, that means I can buy all these wonderful 1989 Upper Deck cards, PSA graded, for $2-3 a piece. And I do. And here's Greg Maddux, 89 Upper Deck, another PSA 6. After this video, I'm going to look at these cards closer and see if I can figure any reason out for that. That doesn't make a whole hell. I mean, these cards look great to me. There's no doubt in my mind they grade certain sets harder than others, just to keep the population where it needs to be, but, well, where they feel it needs to be. But that being said, I don't know how any of those Upper Deck cards were a 6. Next up, another dollar purchase, 1990 Topps Traded Steve Avery, another freaking PSA 6. I don't know what it is, but I love my Braves pitchers. They beat the Indians. But this card was $1. I sent him an offer of $1, and he took it. That shows you the volume that he's getting through, too, by the way. Next up, we've got the 86 Topps Roger Clemens. This card looks 10 times worse than any of those Upper Deck cards did. The corners are not bad, but, I mean, that's a soft corner, no doubt about it. And this is a PSA 7. There is your proof that they're not grading. There's other factors that go into the grade than the condition of the card. Off-center on the back. Clemens' second-year card, and I got it for a song. Okay, what do we got here? 1981 Topps Fred Lynn, AL All-Star. That's an awesome card also. PSA 8. I think this was like a $4 card. As you know, I'm very big on 81 Topps. First series I started collecting. I love everything about these cards. So there's your 81 Topps Fred Lynn, PSA graded at an 8. Cool card, too. I'll never forget that All-Star game, where I was, everything when Fred Lynn homered to win it. I know it's an All-Star game. It's not that big of a deal, but when you're a kid, that kind of shit makes an impression. Sorry about the language. I've been dropping a lot of curse words in these videos lately, but hey, I'm not listed as for kids, right? 81 Topps. Jim Rice. PSA graded at an 8. Again, this 8 is no better than any of those 89 Upper Deck cards were, but what are you going to do? He was the minor league player of the year at Pawtucket in 1974. Attaboy, Jim. Cool card. It's great. The weather's getting nice. I've got baseball on TV. Excuse me. If you are a baseball fan, like a true baseball fan, and you can watch any game, you definitely need to get the Major League Baseball ticket or whatever the hell it's called. Extra innings. I mean, it's awesome. Only team I can't watch is the Indians, but I have literally every other game on every device in my house. There are times, and I'll get it on video, but there are times in season where I will have 6 baseball games on different devices at one time, and I just sit here and enjoy the ball. Okay, last card out of the first pack is a 1984 Topps traded Pete Rose. I only got the, I used to hate this card because it just didn't look right. Why the hell's Pete Rose is an Expo? It just did not look right. I didn't get it. I think he's only with the Expos for 1 year and then went back to the Reds. Don't quote me on whether it was 1 year or 2. But yeah, 84 Topps traded Pete Rose Expos card. What I kind of realized over time is this is a pretty sweet card. I mean, Pete Rose is an Expo. No, it doesn't look right, but this is a real card. I mean, this got printed. He played for the Expos. That's nuts. So I bought it. $4. Accepted my offer. And that one's going to stay in the PC, unless the value goes up tremendously, which I don't see that happen unless he suddenly becomes eligible for the Hall. All right, that's it for the first video, people. I'm at about 18 minutes, and that's too damn long. So I'm going to cut this one off right now. I'll get her uploaded and film number 2 right behind it. And then I'm going to probably take a couple-day hiatus from posting anything. I like to post hot and heavy in a short period of time, and then I got to focus on selling. I got to get rid of some of this inventory. So that's it. Thanks for watching. You know the routine. Subscribe, like, comment. Later.